That Little Gay Talk Show, Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your ordinaire, extraordinaire host, Mr. Joel Tatum. Third week in a row, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I almost got it down.
It was so close.
So close. There was almost a flow. It was so close, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So we have another episode. We have another episode of fun, some surprises, and everything else that's going on. And just to throw out a few little bit of announcements, we do have some ads coming out for the show. They will be coming out here in the next week or two. I'm hoping.
Yep.
I'm hoping you will be able to see those every Monday and Wednesday, just to keep people
Interested.
You know, kind of keep them rolling. Let them know that yes, we're still here.
Not that y'all could lose interest in
I know,
us.
exactly. We're still here. But we have a lot, sometimes shit happens. I'm a poor podcaster. Sometimes shit happens. I got work. Sometimes I got to pay for equipment. So sometimes we might let an episode go once or twice.
Shit. We do what we can for the people. We do what we can
for the people.
That's right.
We do what we can for the people. And of course, my lovely, fantastic, amazing co-host, Wendy Taylor, is here with us today.
Hey, yeah, how you doing?
Oh, I love that. I loved that, Wendy. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Now, you know, if y'all don't know what's going on, I ran across Wendy's face. Now, a couple of things happened over the weekend. First of all, saw Wendy on KHOU.
Oh, that's right. I was on the news. I already forgot about that.
Yes. Saw that Wendy's hair is straight up here on her head.
I forgot I was on the news.
All I saw was this. And I went,
bobblehead.
oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk about a little bit of that, Wendy?
Okay, so basically what happened, it's no secret that I was on the board of Pride Houston and that I left Pride Houston after 3 years of service. I came in right after the former executive director was accused of misappropriating funds. And we're talking over $250,000 worth of misappropriation of funds, and where did they go and why did they go? And the judge found her actions so egregious that they not only awarded Pride Houston what they were asking, he awarded them $1 million. And one of the people that is a named person in that lawsuit, who was the treasurer when all of this went down, has somehow avoided being served the entire time and just happens to be on the advisory committee of the new Faces of Pride, who is talking about unity and clarity and what's the word? Transparency.
I love that one.
Transparency and all this other stuff. And you know what? I wanted to give them a chance, but I was going to hold them accountable. So I went to their very first town hall meeting. And I asked them if they were so into unity and inclusivity and all of that other stuff, then why is every single thing that they're doing in a direct competition with the almost 50-year-old existing Pride organization that's been here the whole time? And why none of them bothered to reach out to the existing organization at the time to talk to them about how we could work together or make things better or anything at all for that matter, or, you know, fuck you. Nothing. Until they started using our trademarks at the time. So we took them to court. They did have to change their name. And after this town hall meeting, I said, if from today forward, you guys, if y'all actually mean what you're saying about moving forward in unity for our community, because that was the reason I left Pride Houston, was that I didn't want to be part of the division. Mm-hmm. And all I've done since then is watch the division grow. And it's hurting our community. It's hurting our resources. It's making people take sides in the community. It is hurting relationships. It has personally hurt my feelings that a lot of what the current president, Brian Cotton, has been saying about Pride Houston, which included me on the board, which was a lot of false information, but he didn't bother to clarify who he was talking about. So we all just got painted with a broad stroke, and I take personal offense to that. And then afterwards, they asked me to stay, but then promptly went to go get a photo. And that took a long time, and I had somewhere to be. I live an hour away. So anyway, I didn't stay for that. And then the following day, an article came out in the Chronicle, and Pride Houston said, yes, we're looking forward to moving forward together. And Brian Cotton's response was, no, we are never going to work with them. From the New Faces of Pride. Okay. So, as of that standpoint, unless something changes on that standpoint, and I actually see some people reaching across the aisle, because Kendra Walker, the president of Pride Houston, showed up to that meeting too. And she said, if you want to get some dates put down for us to sit across the board and actually talk, then let's do it. And so far, I have not seen or heard of a thing.
Okay, because at the end of the newscast, there was talk of reaching across the aisle. There was talk of getting a meeting together that maybe you could both have separate, like months apart.
Oh, I gave them lots of alternatives that they could have done, the city could have done, that New Faces could have done, that no one did and has yet to do. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm out of it. It's no longer my circus, no longer my monkeys. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Y'all can have it.
You know what shocked me is that you were on TV for Pride Houston to begin with, because I thought we were done.
Yep.
I wasn't 100% done.
I wasn't there for Pride Houston.
Okay.
I was there for my community.
Okay.
I was not there for Pride Houston. I was there because I left because of the division, and I've just seen it get worse, and I'm sick of it. And if I don't use what I have, which is my voice, to speak out against it and hold people accountable, then who is going to do it?
Gotcha.
That's it.
Gotcha.
And speaking of that, that's why you saw the post yesterday on Facebook. I didn't mean for it to become a thing. Like, I really didn't. I just made an album on Facebook so that I could find them easily and hold myself accountable for this project. But I've gotten a few negative comments on TikTok and Facebook about my singing ability. When now you guys y'all have to understand that these things stopped bothering me 20 years ago. I think, especially if they're funny reads, like someone called me an Oompa Loompa. Where is the lie? Where's the lie? I'm basically a tomato with a sprout on top of her head. I'm red toned. I'm Irish. I'm English. I'm French, and I'm Scottish, and I'm Welsh. I am just a whitey white tomato.
You're the worst of the whites.
I know. I'm all of them. I'm literally all of them. Like, there's nothing cultural about me. Like,
no. There's a little French.
There's French. I have a little French, but yeah, no, I'm like,
there's a little bit of culture in there.
No, I glow in the dark, y'all. That's how. Okay, but a lot of my singing and stuff is very soulful, and a lot of people but I also have kind of a raspy voice too, so it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that. I get it, and I also understand that people just shitpost for fun, right? But what I'm doing is I'm collecting all of the negative comments that I get on all of my singing videos. And at the end of the year, I'm going to do a special project for them. And I'm going to make money with your help on every single one of those negative comments.
And I'm hoping that we get like some snippets.
Oh, I want to make t-shirts.
Album on the air.
I'm going to sell t-shirts. Worst singer in Houston. Come see her.
Haven't you seen some of the parodies and stuff on air?
Oh yes, I definitely want to start sharing my parodies when they're ready to go to press. They're still in the process of being recorded. So, but they will be X-rated and for adults only. Do not bring your children to my shows.
And there we have it. That was Wendy's Wendy's rant.
That was my rant for the.
That was her
probably
rant
for the year.
day. Probably for the year. It probably is for the year. It probably is for the year. Because your rants usually are maybe 1 or 2 minutes. This one was long.
I have things to say.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Well, speaking of fights and all kinds of stuff,
let's get
violence
physical.
and sex and all this other stuff.
Violence and sex. Jesus, when did we get to Nine Inch Nails?
We're going to talk roller derby today.
Yes, roller derby.
It's roller derby time.
And I am like so totally stoked, y'all, because I haven't seen my friend Eric Tung in quite some time. So when I asked if they could come on the show, and they were available, I was tickled pink. So my friend Eric Tung is here to talk about roller derby. Hi, Eric.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me.
You look so cute.
Thank you.
Your
You
hair
do
is
look
always
cute.
like fly, and your makeup is always on point as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I've done it in a while. So
Is it?
I wanted to play
Look
the
good.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
look
wear
good.
fishnets.
Yeah.
And fishnets.
On the
Yes,
college
the fish.
campus. Wear
That's required.
fishnets.
That's required.
That
It is
required.
required.
Roller derby.
I guarantee you probably nobody batted an eye.
No.
When they
Mm-mm.
walked by,
Nope.
nobody
Nope.
batted an eye.
Nope.
They probably said,
Hey, girl.
they probably went, oh, that girl, the makeup skills. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
All right.
Eric is a fabulous human being. They're here particularly to talk about roller derby, which is such a fun. It's not just a sport; it's a subculture. Like it's a culture.
Well, now it's a subculture. In the 1930s, all the way up into the 1970s, it was actually a real sport.
Oh,
For
it's still a real
long-
sport.
Yeah. Well, okay. So,
okay.
It depends.
That's
It
not
depends
what I
on-
meant.
Yeah.
We all know what I meant. But up until the mid 70s, if I remember correctly, I think it was the mid 70s. Don't ask me on dates. Was when the last time I saw roller derby as a child.
Yeah. So,
And a lot of people don't remember that local television stations used to be independently owned. So if you lived in a certain city that had roller derby, you could usually find it around 9 o'clock on your local television station, on whatever that back television station is, like 26 or 39 or something like that.
Yep.
Used to watch roller derby. You could tell that I went through several different generations.
Yes. That was my generation. I was the roller blader.
Rollerblading in the 90s.
And now we're back to quads. Now we're back to quads. So, Eric, would you tell us a little bit about how in the world did you even get started in roller derby? Like, did you just wake up one day and go, this looks fun?
So I was dating someone that was in derby.
Nice.
And so, so she was, she'd broken an ankle and was like out of it for a while.
Yeah.
But she got me going to games and I got to see stuff going on. And one day I was like, well, I'm going to just show up and try it out. So
That's so fun.
It was really cool. Yeah.
I love seeing you out there looking super badass in your tutu. Like, that one's my favorite.
Oh,
yeah. When you're wearing the rainbow tutu, that one's my favorite, I think. It is.
The amazing thing is that so many people can start roller derby from zero. Like, all of the leagues here in Houston, there's like over half a dozen leagues.
Yep.
And they will start you from not being able to skate at all.
Oh, wow.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I love to skate. I do. But I just don't have a place really near me that I know of to be able to actually skate. I used to skate on the streets when I was a kid, but now those are the same streets that I grew up on a kid, and my face looks like those streets now. Okay, so it's like Montrose Boulevard out there. All right, it's just potholes and cracks, and you can't skate on that. It's not a skatable surface. It's just you end up falling down and busting your butt, and it's not encouraging to want to keep doing it. So I haven't done it in a while, but y'all, I have two of the cutest pair of quads you've ever seen in your life. One of them is a pair of pink rainbow rollerblades, and the other ones are rose gold.
Ooh.
They are so fierce.
Are the rainbow ones the rainbow rollers?
I don't remember what they're
And the
called.
Okay, well, find an elementary school near you And they usually have a nice hard top.
Oh yeah.
And with all these little kids running around, there can't be cracks and unevenness and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So usually they keep them pretty level.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And the one in my neighborhood a little while ago was even covered. It was like a pavilion.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
I think ours actually say no skating.
Oh, well, check. If it says no rollerblading, then these are not rollerblades.
But I think it just says no skating. Because that includes skateboarding.
Yeah.
Because they don't like skateboarders either, which is lame.
Probably.
But so anyway, we'll see. But that was actually where I used to play street hockey with my friends. We'd go out to next to the track at the football field, and we would slap shot in each other's faces. It was so fun. It was so fun. Ah, memories, broken bones, and the reasons why my knees hurt today. So
Is
good.
that the reason?
So good. It is, ho. It is, okay. Because I've been into sports. I started water skiing when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
Because of my dad's best friend, John, who he was the gentleman I helped take care of until he passed. And he was... I was a water-faring person, seafarer. And he raised all of his kids and all of his friends' kids to be too. So we're sporty. We were always really, really sporty. It's weird for me to be 40 and not sporty. I'm not sporty at 40.
So join roller derby.
I might have to. Because that's kind of right up my alley. I'm extremely competitive.
Yeah, it's a great place to get out your aggression.
Yeah, and I was the first AFAB person ever to play football for my school.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah,
really.
In middle school, yeah.
One of our derby friends plays for the women's league here in Houston too.
That's awesome.
Football. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, the girls. Listen, everyone who plays roller derby is tough as nails, and agile as a bird, and fast. Oh my gosh. Y'all move at speeds that make me nervous. It makes me nervous.
So let me tell you about how inclusive it is, though. So I have 3 jerseys over here on the table.
Yep.
The company that makes these jerseys makes them up to 6XL.
That's amazing.
So, wow.
I imagine someone out there is buying them.
If they're making them. Yeah.
And it's amazing because whether you're tall and skinny or short or bigger, you
There's
can
somewhere
use
for it.
that
Yes.
to your advantage. You can leverage your weight, or you can, if you're shorter, you can get up under people and pop them up and get them off the balance.
Yep.
And it's just, it's so inclusive of a space that way, I think.
It really is. And I'm really glad that you brought that up, because not only is it inclusive in size, it also is inclusive across the gender spectrum to a point, right?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
so do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the governing body of most of roller derby is called WIFTA. It's the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, and they say that women, or what they call gender expansive people who most identify with women's roller derby, are allowed to play women's roller derby.
That's wonderful.
Also includes trans men if they identify better with women's roller derby.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then there's another one that's called MRDA, which is the Men's Roller Derby Association. And they take pretty much anyone because the leagues are so small.
Right,
So
yeah.
a bunch of women skaters will sometimes skate with.
So how would you suggest someone who may be interested in getting into roller derby, if they want to go see a game, if they want to ask questions, who, how, where, when, what do they do?
I think the best way is really just hit up Google, hit up Facebook, and see what's near you. Here, in Houston, we've got Conroe Roller Derby, we've got Yellow Rose. There's no more Houston Roller Derby. They kind of folded during COVID. So
yeah.
They're the ones that used to play down here at Revention Music
Yes,
Hall.
yeah, that's where I sang the national anthem for them. Oh, that was fun.
Let's see, there's Southside, and Friendswood, Pearland maybe. Third Coast is in Alvin.
Oh, wow.
Brazos Valley is out in College Station.
Nice.
There is Spindletop out in Beaumont.
Cool.
And East Texas And then the wider area, there's like 3 or 4 leagues in Dallas. There's a couple in San Antonio. There's 3 or 4 in Austin. Austin was a big part in kind of the revival of kind of modern derby too.
Oh, that's cool. Come on, Texas.
Yeah, they've got a couple leagues there. One of them is a little bit more theatrical. So they have like a big, instead of regular penalties, they have like a penalty wheel that you spin.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So there's that kind of derby. That's not the Wifted Derby that a lot of the rest of us play.
Right.
So
where and what league are you in? Are we allowed to say?
So I haven't skated for any Houston league in a while. I'm on the board of Trans Rollers United.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a league of, it's kind of like a collective of skaters from all the other leagues made up of trans and non-binary skaters.
Oh,
so
okay.
we had our debut just a couple months ago in Louisiana. And then a month after that, we had a Trans Day Visibility bout in New Orleans.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So Trans Rollers, is that based here in Houston? Is that based somewhere else?
It's based nowhere because we've got skaters from Jackson. Well, just in this at this tournament we went to, I met skaters from Denver and Southern California.
Wow.
And then those 2 people happened to skate against each other the week after the tournament.
Oh, that's funny.
A lot of Nashville. Let's see, Louisiana, Houston, Jacksonville. I think we had someone from like Alberta, maybe. So there's lots and lots,
So basically, Trans United is a league of roller derby people, not a entire league that.
Right. Yeah. It's
So
just a collection.
It's just a collection
in
of
roller derby, each group really considers themselves a league. So, for example, if you look at Yellow Rose, they're one of the larger leagues in the Houston area. They're more on the. They're kind of out of Richmond, Sugarland somewhere, but they have kind of a travel team. But then they also have like 3 home teams. So they play with themselves. Amongst themselves.
Amongst themselves is better. Yeah. Play amongst yourselves.
It's okay. We're a podcast. Say what you feel.
And now, for some reason, there was this huge uptick in sales for the last roller derby after the podcast. That little gay talk show came out because someone heard they were all just out there playing with themselves. Yes, and the tickets are cheap, okay?
But then they also have a travel team typically that will go and play some of the tournaments or play against other leagues around the area. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you have quite a bit of gear up here.
Yeah.
We're going to have a picture for you, everybody to see it, but we've got some jerseys. You brought us the cutest stickers I've ever seen in my life. If you, they're about like 3 inches tall. They're circular, and they've got a cartoon version of Eric on them with it even has the detail on the roller skates of the unicorns.
Yeah.
It's literally the cutest thing. And then we also have their helmet and their quad skates that are really nice, by the way. So you just got some wicked good skates to start, and you added the rainbow stuff.
So these are my second pair of roller derby skates.
Gotcha.
So do you want to talk gear or the prices or like?
We talk about all of it.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So to start, you probably are going to spend close to $500 in gear.
Oh, hell no.
Your helmet's $100. If you want good knee pads.
Oh, yeah, you got to have good knee
pads.
pads.
Are like $75.
Yes.
You also have
Elbow
pads, wrist guards, mouth guards required.
Yes.
And then your skates, you want to spend at least $250 on skates.
Holy cow.
Because like you can go to Academy and get skates for like $99,
Yeah.
but those will fall apart.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
my first
Especially if
pair
you're
of
doing
skates-
competitively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing stuff on your toe stops, you're taking hits, you're there's a lot of impact going on, and it's, I'm not a light person. I'm not a small person, so
Right.
So the piece underneath that holds it all together, this kind of spine that goes up the middle, it's called the plate. And on kind of your cheaper ones, it's going to be plastic, and then kind of mid-level, you're going to have nylon ones. But these are aluminum. And then they even make them in magnesium if you need them lighter.
Oh, wow.
So, but these are probably over $700 skates.
Goodness, that's amazing.
So
I thought they looked good. I was right.
Now,
There's nothing wrong with my taste.
I'm looking at the skates, and we're looking at a 4-wheeler here. What about inline skates?
you can not wear inline skates in roller derby according to the rules.
Okay.
The refs are able to if they
Oh,
like
cool.
to.
Oh, okay,
So, yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So it stays 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, inline skates have four wheels, right?
They can.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can,
they
but it
can.
depends. Yeah, it
So,
depends.
But in a lot of cases, speed skaters will use inline skates.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you can get bigger wheels.
Yes.
And you get a lot
More
faster-
traction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more
Yep.
speed.
Yep.
Okay.
That's cool. What's the fastest you've ever gone? Do you know?
I think. Hold on. I want to say 22 miles an hour, maybe.
Yeah,
You
because
were
back in the
going
day,
22 miles an hour on your feet.
these are all memories flooding back. Back in the day, I remember watching one time where they had you know how the cops have the little gun,
The radar gun. Yeah.
radar gun.
Yeah.
and they would have the radar gun, and they would show how the
I was using
speed.
I was using my running app.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
using the speed. Now this is the 70s.
Yeah.
We didn't have apps back then. Now, yeah, they would have a little
Right.
that would clock the speed of the skaters as they were going by up to 35, 40 miles an hour.
Oh my God! Can you imagine going that fast on your feet?
I just think it's funny that when you think about roller derby, now roller derby started off as mostly a men's sport to start off with.
Yeah.
And it really hit its popularity when women got involved in roller derby, and men actually fell off the map.
Yep.
That's why the leagues are so small now. It's mostly
Yeah.
women.
Yep.
And
And women's
people
sports are not supported.
who are classified in the feminine realm.
Yep.
So it's mostly women, and people are classified in the feminine
We
realm.
should
which
just
is the
change it to
majority
femmes,
of-
right?
yeah.
We should just change it to femmes. If you're
Yeah.
femme,
Yeah.
then you're invited.
Yeah. So I just think it's kind of funny because, like I said, it started off as mostly men, and by the mostly the 70s, I was mostly watching women on TV.
Yep.
And
Very rarely did I watch men, and if I did, it was mostly celebrity stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it started, though, in the 30s, it started as a race. It was just people making laps. But what happens when people crash into each other? Everyone's
yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So then it started getting more and more. Let's count some points.
exactly.
Let's put some rules together.
Let's push somebody here. Let's check somebody
Let's
there.
actually talk about that. What is and what isn't allowed in the sport of roller derby? Because it's rough. Like there's checking, there's tackling.
Yeah.
Like,
So to kind of start from the beginning, you have 5 players on each team. 4's in defense. 1 is offense. 1 with the star on their helmet is called the jammer. It's their job to go around and get past as many defenders as they can.
You know what? All my trivia questions are gone now.
oh shoot.
Well, not all of them. When you were talking about the WWFTD, when you were talking, I hope I got that right.
Nope.
But
Nope.
no, I know. Sorry, I know. There was a lot of letters.
Jeez Louise.
We're talking about jackers and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, those were all my trivia questions.
We'll come up with something more fun. It's fine.
Well, okay.
But we're still going to have fun with it.
So one of the blockers is a pivot, and they're the ones with the stripe on their helmet.
Okay.
That person, they can be a regular blocker, or sometimes they play offense or something.
Okay.
But they are able to take the pivot cover, or the helmet cover from the jammer if they get stuck. So they can pass that. They call it a panty, but the helmet cover. From the jammer to the pivot, and they can take over.
And they just
start
pass the
skating.
panty.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. So
I love everything about that.
Rules wise, you can't hit anyone with your head, your elbows or arms You can with like your upper arms.
Like your shoulders.
And then also not like your below your knees-ish.
Gotcha.
And then you cannot contact anyone on their back or any of those other areas.
Gotcha. So it's got to be right next to them.
Yeah, generally it's going to be hip on hip and shoving them out sideways.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Give me your first time, the first time that you got on the track. Give me that experience. Tell me what that experience was like the first time. Because if we're trying to get people to get on the track in the first place, I would love to hear what your first experience was.
Okay, so I would say it's probably, so in the history of Buffy, I started skating with the Houston men's roller derby team.
Okay.
So I didn't know how inclusive the women's teams were at first. So I started skating with the men's team. There's only like 6 or 8 people that got together, skated over in a parking garage at a high school. It got really hot in August. It was like 108 and we were still out there skating. But then that next year, in like, this is 2019-ish, I joined up Houston Roller Derby with their boot camp. And so I was 2 boot camp lessons in, and it turns out Houston men's was coming to scrimmage with Houston Roller Derby.
Oh, wow.
So they came in right after our practice and they're like, hey, Buffy, you know how to skate. Come join us for warm-ups.
Right.
Originally, it was like, I was like, I don't mind warming up. I can do some extra skating.
Yeah.
And they threw me like in the rotation.
Oh.
And I was skating against Houston Roller Derby's travel team. Oh. So at this point in time, they probably have, I would say, 120 total skaters across 6 teams for Houston Roller Derby.
Sure.
And their travel team is the top echelon of all of them.
And you got thrown into that.
And I remember getting hit by pay your dues. And I got hit so hard, I remembered like, it was like slow-mo. I could feel both feet lift up off the track as I was like falling over to the side.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what was it like the most amazing rush? Was it fun? Was it terrifying?
It was kind of scary because there are a lot of like rules in addition to that, right? So there's lots of things that like pack formation and where's everyone located and what are all the different things. Like if you get knocked out, you can't just get back in. You got to go in behind the person that knocked you out, right? Because that way you don't gain an advantage. So there's all these different rules that like you have to kind of stay on top of as you're going through all this.
Whizzing around at 20 miles an hour. That's so crazy.
With the derby, you don't go as fast. Okay. Because your blockers are mostly stopped and they're waiting for you to come up.
Oh, yeah. It makes you an easy target.
USARS is another brand. It's kind of another brand of derby. It's the United States Association of Roller Skating or something. They actually also regulate speed skating. But they are, USARS and also bank track derby are a lot more based on kind of the traditional, everyone's moving a lot.
Yeah. So if someone like, just for example, maybe listening to this podcast and they're thinking, I've always kind of wanted to skate, but I'm kind of like a baby giraffe. Yeah. Do you recommend that they just go to their nearest skating facility and say, hey, I've been thinking about this. Should I do it? Or do you think they should do a different step?
Go on Facebook and find your roller derby league. If you want to join roller derby, you almost need to start before you learn how to do it wrong, you know?
Gotcha.
In roller derby, your first 2 or 3 days, they'll teach you how to fall correctly so you don't hurt yourself.
That's important. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to fall on your front because that's where all your pads are. You don't want to fall on your butt.
Yeah.
But most people want to fall backwards because falling forward is scary.
Into your face.
I learned that. I actually learned that from skateboarding. You fall forward, you don't fall back. You always try to fall forward.
You'll crack your head open.
Because you never try to fall back. And even now, I haven't been on a skateboard in a few years. Even now, if I'm walking somewhere, if I trip, I instinctively fall forward.
Yeah.
I do have an annoying habit though of when I do fall, I fall on my hands and wrists.
Yep.
To keep myself up.
Yep.
But that's where all your tiny bones are.
Yeah.
Yep. They taught us, and because I did mixed martial arts for like 15 years, and one of the biggest things they teach you is if this happens to you, how to fall so that it doesn't hurt you as badly in all kinds of situations. If you're being thrown, if you trip, if you're, there's all kinds of ways that you could fall. But basically, it's the rules for fighting were hard parts on soft spots, and if you were going to fall, it was protect your head at all costs.
Yeah, it's about protecting your head.
Protect your head at all costs.
Protect your head at all costs.
And that's really, I'm really amazed at how seriously they take head injuries too.
Oh, I hope so.
So as part of Trans Rollers United, I'm working on kind of their whole, they have a concussion plan of like, how do you return back to skating? What kind of clearances do you need? How long do you need to be at like 25%? Or, are you warming up for a while, like over the course of weeks or months? And what does that look like? So there's lots of, a lot of people are definitely paying attention to that. So
I'm glad to see that. I wish that the NFL would take note.
They came out with a new helmet.
The NFL,
They
did
have that
start
new
taking
helmet.
notes about, 5 or 6 years ago. They've been working on their.
I know they've been working on it, but they also denied it for 20 years.
For 20 years, and
We
it took a
coulda-
doctor. It actually took a doctor who had been working with NFL players to finally say, "Hey, there is an issue here.
Yes.
There is a huge issue here," and he had been blown off for so many years.
Yep.
To the point that he actually had to go to social media to put it out there.
Just think if they hadn't ignored it for so many years, how much further along we would already be. So when I say, I said what I said, and I meant it.
Okay. Well, that was the first half of the show.
Oh no, let's take a short break.
We're going to take a short little break. We're going to be back with Eric in a little bit. We're going to talk more roller derby. We're going to have a little bit of fun on the last part of the episode. And we're going to in the meantime, we're going to take some more pictures. Because we got to get all this stuff to Phoenix, because Phoenix has got to, Phoenix is going to figure out the whole thing. So we got to get all of this to Phoenix. So we will be right back. And we are back. I'm here with Wendy Taylor and Eric Tung, and we're talking roller derby.
Yeah.
Move. That's my spot.
I know, right? So we're in the second half of the show. I thought we would have a little fun.
I love fun.
We're going to have a couple of trivia questions.
Okay.
All right.
Now, in between the trivia questions, I'm going to ask some deeper questions in the middle. Something to get us started in conversation. Something to open up and get to know each other a little bit.
My first pap smear was when I was 13.
I need to know if I'm getting in your pants or not. This is kind of like a date.
Well, in that case.
All right, ready for the first trivia question?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, now, multiple choice.
Oh.
Okay, and we'll get the answers at the end.
Okay.
So now we might have just talked about this.
All right.
So when I ask the question, put your thinking cap on.
All right.
What is the name of the flat track roller derby governing body?
WIFTA. Oh, right. It's sorry. Go ahead.
I forgot how competitive she could be. We have the WFTDA, we have the MRDA, we have the JRDA, or we have the RDA. Which one of these?
So JRDA is Junior Roller Derby.
Yeah. So wait.
Now this is flat track.
Flat track. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't.
Flat track roller derby.
It was the murder one,
body.
right? No,
that's men's.
Oh, that was the men's. All right. I suck at life. What is it?
You were right.
I was right. It was WIFTA. Oh, okay. All right.
You were right the first time.
Trust your gut. Trust your gut, people. Trust your gut.
Okay. And now let's ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
I feel like we're just going to talk through all these anyway.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's like on Who Wants to Be the Millionaire when they milk out the question for like 15
Right.
minutes.
Yep.
So it's Monday morning. Mm-hmm. You are in bed. Mm-hmm. The sun has just risen.
I'm already mad.
Your eyes have now popped open. What was your first absolute thought when your eyes popped open this morning?
Who do you want to go first?
Oh, we're going to start with the guest.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
When's my first meeting?
No, your first.
No,
that was your thought.
When's my first meeting?
When's my first meeting? Oh God, it's already begun. Oh. Well, okay. My first thought this morning was actually of my boyfriend. My routine every morning is to.
That's much sweeter than what I said.
Well, our routine, because he's an over-the-road truck driver, we don't see each other very often. He's been out 60 days this time, which is the longest he's ever been out, and he's on his way home now, and I'm very excited. So, of course, my first thought was call Jeremy and see what he's up to, where he's at in the world at the time, because, you know, when I go to bed, he's in a different place than where he's going to be when I wake up in the morning, and figure out where he's at. And then after that, my second thought was my son, Aiden, and Gabriel. So
my first thought this morning, and right when I opened my eyes, was, where's my phone? Why can't I not? This is my thought this morning. Why is it that every morning when I get up, and I have to get up early every morning, that the first thing I have to find is my phone, and it's supposed to be right here next to me in the bed, but it's never right next to me because it's either in the corner or it fell off sometime in the night or rolled under the bed, or one time I found it at the end of the bed in the closet. I don't know how I got there.
That
Honestly,
must have been a fun night.
Do not know how I got there. I had not been drinking the night before.
Do you listen to Do you listen to podcasts when you fall asleep?
No, I don't listen when I'm falling asleep. I might listen like in the afternoon when I'm playing video games.
But it's not like you were listening to true crime and you thought you were going to get attacked and you like threw it at the intruder.
That was my first thought this morning. That was my first. Now there were other thoughts after that. Of course, that's I got to go to work.
Yeah.
We have a show today.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the first thought in my mind was, where's my phone?
That makes sense.
So you and like 15-year-olds have something in common.
Yes, me and 15-year-olds. You know,
I think that's actually most people.
I never thought that I would get to the point in life where I had the attention span of a 5-year-old. Never thought I'd. Past episodes, we've talked about my little journey with therapy and everything else. Not too much, because I'm keeping some things personal.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
But yes, it is.
It is.
And it's also Asian and Pacific Islander month.
And you know what? My first thought was, wait, should I bring that up, or was that last month? What if it was last month?
No, it's this month.
And then Eric looks at me like I'm an idiot because I forgot that Asian American month was either May or April.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's Asian and Pacific Islander.
Islander.
Some of my favorite Asian-themed roller derby names.
Bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's Yellow Fever.
Oh my God. No.
As long as Asians keep up with it, that's fine.
Kawaii 5-0.
Kawaii 5-0. That one's cute. That is cute. Yeah, I like that.
Let's see. What other ones? I can't think of any other ones.
Aw.
They thought of two.
Okay. So I come up with like little names here and there just for different situations.
I do the same thing for drag queens.
I said if I ever skated in Louisiana, I would go by Ragin' Asian.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
That's good. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I would also eat there too. I would eat there too. That sounds like a fantastic restaurant. I would eat there.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it because Houston. Gotta love Houston when it comes to restaurants. There's
First of all, but I'm such I can't make a generalized. I was about to make a generalized statement, and I have to stop myself from doing that. But as an autistic person, I enjoy puns a lot, and a lot of my fellow autistic friends enjoy puns.
Do you want more?
All of them. I want all of them.
I know a Hips and salsa. And a chili con carnage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Let's see. There was a page not found. She was number 404. One of the best skaters in Texas is Freight Train, and her number is 202.
Oh, perfect.
Because when you say it, you sound like a freight train. 202.
Do, do. That's awesome. Actually, on your jerseys here, we have the Oxford Trauma.
Oxford Trauma.
Instead of the Oxford Comma, it's the Oxford Trauma. And I just feel like that one's full of like ragey English teachers.
Yeah. Or
writers.
Therapists.
Or therapists. That's true. Yeah. So
British therapists.
Sounds like somebody in the King's Court who probably would need that kind of name.
Yeah.
Up in Conroe, we had a rolla doobie.
Oh, that's for me. Yeah. That one's for me.
That's a 420 moment right there.
There it is. No, what's really, really funny, like this is a total sidebar, but coming up with funny names, like my girlfriends and I, who are Michelle and Elise, it's a mother-daughter duo that I've been friends with for over a decade now, and they're the most precious humans on the planet. But we always talk about we're potatoes, right? We compare ourselves to potatoes. So we came up with a girl singing group called the Carbies. And we each have potato names.
Is there an I'm a Carby Girl song?
There's one. No. Oh, but you know what? I just wrote one for. No, I literally did write I'm a barbecue girl from a barbecue world for Lola Standards for her barbecue cook-off for her parody for her performance. And they won Best Skit. One best skit.
Oh, of course they did.
It's so good. I'm a barbecue girl in a barbecue world. Forks of plastic, need a napkin. Sauces in my hair, don't ask me how it got there. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's so good.
Yep.
You guys are really clever. I swear to God.
Wait, how many trivia questions are we?
Okay, so we're only
this is
going to
be
do
like
4.
a 3-hour podcast.
I know.
We're only going to do 4. Okay, so we're only doing 4.
Right.
Okay, so who awards the Hydra for the WFTDA playoffs? The WTFDA, the fans, the announcers, or the referees?
I have no idea. It's called the what award?
The Hydra.
Hydra. Many heads. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I'm guessing the crowd.
I'm gonna go with the referees for some reason. It sounds like a referee kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
What do you think, Eric?
I don't know. They usually call them zebras. Because they're wearing stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So if it's a Hydra award, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with the crowd because many heads.
Okay. All right. And follow-up question. Ready for a follow-up question?
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay. What is your favorite activity outside of what you normally do that you could talk about forever that would bore the hell out of anybody else?
Atavism, activism. It's
Eric goes first.
I'm sorry.
Eric, guest goes first.
All right, Eric.
Social media marketing.
Oh, for sure.
That's my job.
Yep.
I was talking about it yesterday.
And that's your favorite activity? That's your most favorite?
It's not my favorite activity. It's the thing I could talk the most about. Yesterday, I was just down in League City with a group of artists, a little bit more than a dozen people, talking about how you can use social media more effectively to spread your art.
And we'll be having you back on for that.
And yes, we will be doing that.
Because I did know that about you. In fact, we've talked about that several times, and I think I was going to hire you for something, but it ended up not happening. I don't remember what it was. I think there was one of my friends had their company.
Maybe?
I think, it was something like that. One of my friends' companies, they were like, do you know anybody? And I said, yeah. And then I don't think anything ever came up. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what makes me so happy right now? What makes me so happy is that I've had 4 different co-hosts, and each co-host brings something different to the table. And I love that about this show because when I have a new co-host, they bring something different to the table. I have been complaining for years that I do not have enough trans representation on the show.
Yep.
That I do not have non-binary representation on the show.
Yep.
And we were just talking, a month ago?
Yeah.
We don't have enough Asian.
Yeah, I literally told Eric that. I was like, we have had 0 Asian or Pacific Islanders that I'm aware of on this show yet.
We're an LGBTQ community in Houston.
And we have
a little bit of everything on the show.
Yes, it's so because representation matters.
This looks like a public service announcement.
It does kind of, right? We're like Neapolitan ice cream up in here.
So having Wendy on board, I've had more non-binary and transgender people on the show than I've had in the past 4 years, and I am very appreciative of that.
Yep.
Awesome.
Very appreciative of that.
Thank
because
you.
my whole goal is to make sure that kind of educate gay men on everything else that's in the community, because gay men have been such the center of the universe in the community. It's ridiculous for years that they think that they are the community.
Right.
And we have to remember there are other members of this community.
There's several, and it keeps growing.
And we probably need to get off of our pedestal or not be the center anymore.
Yeah.
And let others take the reins of that.
Yeah, or just share it.
Just share it.
Just share it. That's all we want is to share. That's it. We just want to
just
share
a little bit
it.
more representation under the LGBTQ. That's LBTQ and everything else.
Yep.
And not so much G. I love the G's. I love my
think the
G's.
G is important too. It's
The
just
G's
as
is important
important.
because I'm a G.
Yes.
So the G's are important, but it's just that there's so much media thrown at me as a G.
Yeah.
There's not enough media thrown as a T, a B, an L. And we need those.
And the Q.
And the Q. Those need the most media attention.
Yep.
And I think that's why it was so important and so amazing that the Trans Rollers United team debuted in the South.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
That's a
the
political
town we were
statement.
in, it was like, I've never heard of this town before.
Yeah.
And it was, but, everyone there just welcomed us in just like anyone else. So.
It's beautiful.
According to the information, when they sent me, you're a board member.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of say in what goes on, and do you have a say?
I don't know. I mean,
what goes on?
it sounds
when
like
it
I
comes
do
to
sometimes.
I mean, is there like a president? Is there a secretary? Is there
it's
this?
like,
Is it a
we have a
board,
group,
or is it just?
We have a group where we just kind of divvy out all the different little pieces that need to get done. There's a lot of, obviously marketing. There's a lot of like organizing members, especially since, I don't know about you, but I can't afford to fly out to 3 or 4 different events every year.
Of course.
Right.
So every single event that we've had, it's been the 2 events we've had, it's not even the same group of people on the team.
Right.
So, how do you coordinate all these people?
Yes.
Safety stuff that we're doing, we're working on putting a website up. Check out Trans Rollers United on Facebook right now.
Nice.
But, creating merch and then,
Fundraisers,
all those,
that kind of
all those
stuff.
types of things.
Yeah, all those things take special skills. And we should be like, and today, Liam Neeson, what are your set of special skills?
I have a particular set.
I have a particular set of skills.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, we need to answer the question as well. Did you answered?
Atavism, activism. I did. It's yes. The thing that I could talk about for hours on end that would bore the hell out of most people is atavism, activism, and it only sounds boring up front. But basically, what it is we're turning chicken embryos back into dinosaurs, and I can talk about that for hours. And there's actually not. It's not just atavism, activism that we're using. Atavism, activism is. Oh no, we're not getting started because I will literally talk about this for 2 hours. We can talk about that on a different show if y'all want to know. How we are taking chicken embryos and turning them back into dinosaurs, but not allowing them, because for ethical reasons, to come to fruition and full development.
We've seen the movies, we know.
Do look up atavism, activism, because we are less than 30% away from being successful at this point. They were the last that I checked anyway. So I can't wait to have little dino chickens. Nope,
Really?
I want them. I want them all day. But I'm also like the reason that they have ethics committees. Because I'm like, why don't we make them glow in the dark too?
You have them fly, glow in the dark.
I'm the reason that there would have been like
technology even goes further. You can have them talk, so you don't have to.
My favorite joke when I was in Bio 2 honors was someone came up to me and they said, "What do you get when you mix a cow with an octopus?" Mm-hmm. A visit from the ethics committee and a violation of the board and an immediate execution and dissolution of your license for practicing. So there's that.
I did see on Reddit in like some kind of a grocery store, there was an octopus that had eaten bioluminescent algae and they cut it up. So there were little spots in it that were glowing in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the packaging on this octopus.
Yep.
I don't. Honestly, how would you keep an octopus? And they're super smart.
They're incredibly smart.
And they've been known to escape most. Excuse me. Something got caught back there.
No, my favorite story of an octopus was that this one that kept getting out at the zoo at night and turned off the power because of a blinking light that kept irritating it, and then went all the way back to its cage, got back in, and went to bed.
That's how incredibly smart they are.
Well, I mean, it doesn't want to sleep out on the grass or something. Like,
No.
It didn't
That wouldn't be good for it.
No.
While I was trying to sleep.
I just thought it was hilarious, and
I
they
just think it's
also
hilarious.
they'll punch fish if they're annoying. Yeah,
They'll punch you if you're
I'm
annoying.
part octopus. I'm pretty sure. I'm part octopus and part cat, so I'm like a catapus.
Y'all ready for the next question?
Bring it on, and raven.
Okay. And
Catapus event.
this was talked about earlier, so please put your memory caps on.
Okay.
You ready? What is the term for the skater who scores points? Is that the jammer, the pivot, the blocker, or the bench coach?
Jammer. It's the jam. You go first. Sorry.
well, I know the answer.
I know you know the answer. It's the jammer. I suck at this, you guys.
And you're the most competitive. Follow-up question?
Follow-up question, Eric.
How do you spell jammer?
If you could sit down with any celebrity, living or dead, and have a conversation with them, literally about anything, who would the celebrity be, and what would be the subject of conversation? And why am I talking like that?
Thank you for joining us with Cool Sounds from
Exactly.
Joel
You know what?
Tatum.
I think you need to talk like that more because then people leave your podcast on when they go to sleep and you make more money.
You know, I thought about doing an ASMR kind of thing. But once we get the studio set up,
Oh, yeah. It's going to be so nice, y'all. We're moving into
and
a studio soon.
We're moving into a studio soon, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait because we're going to start filming.
Yep.
The only reason we're not filming now is because look what I'm surrounded by.
Yes,
Walls
we're
of
surrounded by a
pictures
bunch of white men in pictures. Yeah.
in pictures.
I thought you meant me. I was like,
Right there. And do you know, Whitney, that my boss has asked me, y'all don't film up there, do y'all?
No, hell no.
No, we stopped filming after a while because the pictures kept getting in the way. And they're like, good, because we don't want the pictures in the shot when we go online. And I'm like, okay, all right.
yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for noting that. We won't be filming up here.
Yep.
Because I'm not dealing with that.
Nope. No. It's going to be so fun we do that. For you, who would be
Who would be your
celebrity?
celebrity? And what would you talk about? Living or dead? And celebrity is a subjective?
Yeah.
Subjective term. So it could literally be anyone from history. It could be someone from media.
I have a tie. It's hard.
yeah, I don't know.
I have a tie between Mark Twain, because Mark Twain was just such a freaking gem of a writer and a a satire, political satire writer, and all, just so many gems came from that brain. And I would love to have met such a forward thinker of his time and talk to him about what he thinks about where we are today. Yeah. That's what I would do. But if I had a choice that wasn't a writer, it would definitely be Robin Williams, and all we would talk about is thank you.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I would say to him is thank you. Mm-hmm. Just thank you.
What about you, Eric?
I don't know. Those are really good.
You want a minute or two longer to think about it while I throw out my answers?
The first two I thought were Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Who follows me on Twitter.
Yes, I saw that. And I thought, why are you not talking about that? Why are they not talking about that? Sorry. Sorry, Miss Ginger. Why are they not talking about that? So
yeah.
And the second one I thought was John Lennon. My oldest kid's name's Lennon.
Nice. John Lennon would be a good one. Yeah, that's another one of those interesting brains that you would just want to pick.
I was listening to a podcast about the variety show people that happened to be on the Ed Sullivan Show the night that the Beatles were playing. Oh. And they're like, I didn't know there were other people on that show. But the Beatles, I think they opened. Yeah. They had a few different little acts in between.
Yep.
And then they were talking to some of those actors about how everything turned out. Yep. And one of them was talking about how they were in this kind of, their dressing room was like where the vending machines happen to also be. And some bum comes up and he's like, hey, is this where the vending machines are? And can you spot me a dime? And it turned out that was John Lennon.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That's bananas.
But he was like sketching them and like,
that's bananas. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, John Lennon's a good answer. And Barack Obama's a good answer. What about you?
First person I would sit down and have a conversation with is Jesus.
That's just a whole other level.
I'm going to need to have him clear up some things, a lot of things for a lot of different people. And I will be glad to take notes
and pass it along.
If Moses can do it, I can do it too. So I would sit down and talk to Jesus, and we would hash out what he really thinks about certain things. Because I would like to know right from his mouth.
And I would just like for him to say, "Did I stutter?" Yeah. So if it wasn't going,
And I think I'm in a tie, but I think I'm going to lean a little bit more towards Diana Ross.
Oh my God, yes.
Simply because I was fascinated with her when I was a kid.
Oh, she's fascinating.
Fascinated by her. When I think about my childhood, I'm like, how did I? Oh, I was gay. I was so gay. I was gay.
I'm like disco stick gay.
I've known since I was 6 years old that I liked boys. The first time I saw a penis, I went, yes. 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 Okay. And my decision was made from that point on. I didn't know what the word was. I'm 6.
Yeah.
But I knew what I liked.
Yeah.
Or what I wanted.
You were 6 before you saw your own penis?
No, when I... At 6, I don't even know if I had a penis. I just know I peeped in my... Picture this.
Sicily.
Picture this.
19. Okay, go ahead.
Picture this. Washington, D.C., 1974.
All right.
I am 6 or 7 years old. Mom has been out all night partying. Dad is nowhere to be seen. Baby brother and other brother are asleep. I need to go find out what's going on with Mom. I go peep in the peephole. Now, a keyhole, an actual keyhole, the one that you see in the cartoons. When I think about it now, I'm like, I actually peeped through a keyhole. Wow. Peeped through a keyhole to see if my mother was okay, and some man got out of the bed, and the first thing I saw was his penis. And that was...
And you said, Mom, you have great taste.
Something clicked in my head. Oh, my mom had terrible taste in Oh, they were the worst. Oh, no. Mm-mm. If I had to date these men, no. Mm-mm. My mother had terrible taste in men. Nope.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-mm.
That's funny.
Mm-mm.
Was that the fourth question?
Oh, no. Oh, no. We have one more.
Oh, my God.
Look at this. We have one more.
Okay.
This one is an easy one. I think we can handle this.
Okay.
What piece of safety gear is worn on the knees and elbows? Wrist guards, helmet, knee pads, elbow pads.
Knee and elbow pads. On your what?
On the knees and elbows.
They're pads. Knee and elbow pads.
Okay, but you can only pick one.
But wait, you said they're on their knees
The
and
wrist guards, the helmet, the knee pads, or the elbow pads. Yes, that's what it says here. Worn on the knees and elbows.
knee pads, I guess.
Okay, that sounds like
It's a weird question.
that is the
Can you
weird.
pick two?
That is a weird. I'm guessing that you can't pick two on this one. So let's just pick. No, you can only pick one.
That's cray.
That's cray.
All right. What's the follow-up question?
Oh, follow-up question. How do you want to end this show?
Oh my God, I want to talk about Comic Palooza.
Do you want to talk about Comic Palooza?
I want to talk about Comic Palooza.
How do you want to end this show?
That sounds good. I've never been.
So Joel and our buddy Spunkmeyer did Comic Palooza last year, and I didn't get to go last year. I can't remember why.
Oh,
Say that
here's why you didn't get to go, which is why I was like, make sure you fill out the application. Because when you filled out the application, for some reason, Spunkmeyer and I got ours immediately, but you never got yours. And we could not figure out what happened.
That's so weird. Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
We could not figure out what happened because we filled ours out the day that he told us to fill it out, and then you filled yours out the next day. So I don't know what happened, and they don't know what happened either.
That's weird, but it doesn't matter. This year we're doing it again, and this time I'll be there, and I'm super excited because one of our past guests, y'all remember Jen Martini, she is making me a custom costume for this.
Ooh.
And I am super excited, but I'm going to be like a sexy gender-bended version of like the Joker and the Riddler.
Oh, I like that. But
Yeah.
they are going to be on the floor interviewing the car people since they're going to be in costume because I can't afford a costume. I'm bringing everybody there. I mean, I'm trying to get everybody in there.
Yeah.
The last thing I was thinking about was a costume. So, and this is all came at the last minute. Spunkmeyer was a friend of mine. He passed away back in November.
Yep.
And wasn't sure that I wanted to do Comic Palooza this year. I really wasn't sure if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Simply because
It's not the same.
it's not the same. And at the same time, he literally just passed. And we just did this last year.
Yep.
And I still have people asking me where he is
Yeah.
from Comic Palooza.
Yep.
So that's been kind of hard for me to deal with.
Yep.
And even then when I was telling Wendy and Phoenix, hey, make sure you fill it out immediately, blah, 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 blah. In my own head, I'm thinking,
Joel.
it took a lot for me to do it, but I got it. It was 2 minutes to fill out.
Yep.
But it was 4 hours for me to fill it out. It was 4 hours for me to fill it out.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm excited. Very excited.
It's
but there's
bittersweet, though. It's bittersweet.
It's a little bittersweet.
It is.
So.
He was a phenomenal human, and we've talked about him several times. He's been on the show. He helped us get this new version of the show kickstarted, and we're going to have the Spunkmeyer Awards at the end of every year. So whoever, some of our guests. We'll get a Spunkmeyer Award at the end of the year for having the spirit of our buddy Spunkmeyer.
Okay. And I'm going to post the answers to the questions on our Facebook page.
Nice.
So that I can see if people are out. People are paying attention to what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Even though, by the way, our page, every day, there are so many people liking our page right now.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Plug your page.
Of course, it's that Little Gay Talk Show on Facebook.
Yep. It's just that little LIL.
That little LIL. That's it.
Gay
An
talk show.
apostrophe?
Nope.
No apostrophe.
No apostrophe.
no
It's just
apostrophes. We keep it
that
simple.
LIL gay talk show.
We keep it mean and simple here.
We definitely keep it mean and simple. But so, yeah, who was I talking to? Oh, James, my friend James. I was telling him, I was like, everybody needs to have a mean girlfriend. Everyone needs to have a mean girlfriend.
Wait, like the one that tells you don't go out in that outfit?
Yes.
Put something else on?
Yes,
Okay.
and also when you're out and you're being bothered by a guy, they'll be like, excuse me, she doesn't want to talk to you.
I don't see you as my mean girl. I see you as my diva. I see, that's who you're like my Mariah Carey.
Oh, God, not Mariah. She's so terrible. Ew. Make it Bette Midler. No, make it Bette.
Okay, let me put some context here. I feel like from watching Mariah Carey on TV, now I've never met her in person. I don't know how she is, but from seeing her on TV, I feel like that she has an attitude, but I feel like that she's also kind of sweet underneath all
Oh,
that.
she's very sweet underneath. She cares a
feel
lot
like
about
that
other
she's
people.
really sweet under that, but the diva thing, it's just for show. It's just her doing her thing. You know, she's worth millions, close to billions. She can do whatever she wants. And if you are worth that kind of money, throw that at too.
And,
girl.
and if you can sing at that level that like only dogs can hear. Yeah.
Throw that ass in a circle, girl. Just throw that ass in a circle. Oh, one last question before we end the show.
Let's go. All right.
What are we thinking about all this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef going on?
Drake, you can go ahead and retire, baby. Drake
It's everywhere on social media right now.
My son and I were talking about this last night. My son Aiden and I were talking about this last night, and I was like, yo, Drake needs to go ahead and just retire because Kendrick served him up
It's
in an hour.
I figured it's so bad. It has to be so bad for Drake right now that even old white women are commenting on this beef. And I'm like, Drake, I think you might need to retire, girl. Even old white women don't like you anymore. You might need to call it a day.
So as we all say collectively goodbye to Drake, let's say goodbye to each other.
Let's say, but not with hate.
No, not with hate.
This is not I am not Kendrick Lamar.
No.
I do not hate. I was going to add one of the questions I was going to ask that I decided to turn back is if there is a person, is there a person that you hate so much? Is there anyone that you hate so much? I had it in my head. Sorry. That's my ADHD talking.
Yep.
But what was the question I had? It was about. Is it possible for you to hate someone so much that you would destroy their lives?
No, because it would destroy my own.
That's not a question you really need to answer. We don't really need to answer because we're ending the show. But
What a high note to end it on,
But we
Joe.
wanted a high note. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to do all that
That's
Kendrick
so
Lamar
funny. Okay,
beat.
no, I get you.
Thank you, Eric Tung, for being on the show. Am I pronouncing your last name right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure because I say people's names and they just look at me and then they're like, "No, that's not how you pronounce it." But
Yeah, no, it's Eric
You
Tung.
could just call
it's
me
your
Buffy.
name.
Yeah.
Call me Buffy.
Yeah.
It's your name. It's your name. You should be proud of your name.
Yeah.
If I'm pronouncing it wrong, tell me I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Right.
When people call me Joel, I'm like, no. It's Joel. And it's always been Joel. I don't know where y'all got Joel from.
So I was actually thinking about this, and if you wanted to, you could be an honorary Carby if you wanted. And we just have to change your name to Joel Tater.
Let me think on that.
Okay. All right. Let me
think on
know.
that.
All right.
And
I'll ask Au Gratin and Scalloped about it. I'm
Okay.
twice baked.
And I'll
Thank
give you an
for
answer
coming
on the
today.
next episode. I'll give you an answer on the next episode.
Perfect.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.